Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of CLAldridge Art. And today I am going to continue drawing on this drawing that I started in part 1. And I had thought that I was going to not do a circle around it. The more I looked at it, the more I said, this one just needs a circle. What can I say? And I have to go where my muse leads me, and it has led me to this design, which I thought that I would go ahead and do a little inking on at this particular moment in time, and say hi to everyone here who is watching from me. And I know that people like drawing videos. I certainly enjoy watching them. One of the guys that I love watching draw is Marty Woods. And I don't think that he's done a drawing video for quite some time. But he's a lot of fun to watch. And of course, one of the very first people that I ever started watching on YouTube was a guy by the name of Peter Daglish. It's a very hard name to pronounce, Daglish, but you might know him as Peter Draws. And I love the way he talks about drawing, and he did one of my absolute favorite videos of all time was when he was drawing in a symmetrical style. He doesn't draw symmetrical very often, but when he does, it's spectacular. And it is really the video that inspired the type of art that I produce as well. And this particular type of drawing has always been the one that my fans sort of flock to. They do enjoy coloring symmetrical work. So we all have our niches. While this isn't the only style that I draw in, it is one that I am very comfortable with. And I am going to zoom you down so that you can see a little closer what I'm doing. I think that is good focus. I will watch and find out. I'm hoping that I do not get off the screen. I'll try and watch that for you. What I did is I lightly penciled in my design. And now I am simply inking it. And I lightly pencil it in before because I want to find out how it looks before I commit to ink. Because of course once you ink it, you're done. You know, you short of lifting off the ink with or hiding it, masking it out, you're stuck with it once you've got ink on it. And I need a little higher weight of a line for the interiors of these. This is just it's going to be like a wreath. grassy wreath. And then so I'll have some that go this way, and then there'll be some pieces that come this way. They're not all even. Maybe there's a couple here that go over. There's another one that goes over the rest. And then there's some that come down. Trying to match them up with they don't have to be perfect, but they do have to kind of match the ones that are next in the sequence. Otherwise you wonder where they went. And some can be curved, and this part there's no exactness to it. This is the part that I really love, because you can get all wild with it. Just like if you'd gone out and grabbed a handful of grass and wrapped it up with another piece of grass. Trying to make it curve under and all of that kind of thing. I'm going to my Zen place. That's what this kind of drawing does for me. It actually sends me off to my Zen place. So now see, there's a couple that go this way. So, you know, maybe I'll continue those up from the bottom. Maybe that one disappears into there. And we just continue on. So how was everybody's day today? I watched episode 9 of The Potter's House. With Curiosity Inc. And that was interesting. They're still finding things in the house that are surprises, and this episode 9, which was this week, he tries to film one every week, was where he actually showed his wife the house for the first time. And maybe we'll disappear that one in there. And it was a lot of fun. it was a lot of fun. And oh my goodness, polite children. He has got the most polite children. Okay. And if anybody is interested in that channel, it's Curiosity Incorporated. Okay. I had a day of paperwork as well. So it's lovely when I can finish a day of paperwork with a little drawing. Bring a new piece of art into the world. I watched Olivia, Coloring with Olivia, and of course when she had 1,000 subscribers, she actually created a drawing. She says she's not an artist, but yes, she is. So she drew her first coloring page as a giveaway. And so today she actually started coloring it. And she's demonstrating some beautiful techniques. So I have decided that rather than an art supply, because I've got my my Amazon affiliate stuff that I use to buy art supplies. And so what I'm going to buy with it is the Helen Ellison's coloring special effects, so that I can learn that and hopefully be able to demonstrate in real time here on the channel some of those cool techniques. Some I get by watching people like Sammy, or people like Claire, or people like Olivia, or V, or Lori over at Color My World. I'm a visual learner, and so to me the best way to learn is to watch someone else do it. And once I've seen how it's done, then I can usually do it myself. I'm brave enough to try it myself. And you guys should try that. You should not say, I can't do it. You should watch somebody do it. And even if you have to watch the video a bunch of times before you finally get it, I think it's really helpful. Of course, some people learn by doing, some learn by watching, some learn by listening. There's just so many ways to learn to color and to apply that knowledge. So I'm just working my way around. Now, if I get bored doing that part, then I can come back and do a little more of this part. And maybe we'll have one that curls around like this, and then goes down in here. And then these two will come up here, because that one is, you know, sort of continues up. But these continue down. My little grass strands. Going all quiet again. Got my mind on grass strands. And it doesn't, like, you know, they can go every which way and you're just having fun with it. Like Bob Ross says, happy little grass strands. What fun would life be if we all went in the same direction at the same time? This actually would be perfect for those Koh-i-Noor pencils. You know, the triatones. This is exactly the kind of thing that those are made for. You sure you guys want to watch stuff like this? Some of you do, I'm sure. I may edit this out or speed this up or something along those lines. Take out all the dialogue since I am not being very entertaining today. I was actually, earlier in the day, I was looking up, I have one of the many things that I inherited from my mother is a beautiful gold signet ring. And, but it is the Lion of Judah, which was, I mean, this certainly comes with a story. I think in another video I told you guys that my parents met in Ethiopia. My mother was there with the U.S. Foreign Service, and my father was a pilot flying for Ethiopian Airlines. And oh my, the tragedy that has happened there in the last few days with the plane crash on Sunday. I'm so saddened for the Ethiopian people and all of the people who lost their lives. Boeing 737 crashed 6 minutes into its flight when, of course, nobody survived. But in a somewhat similar situation, or I don't know if it was similar or not. I do know that my dad was flying uh, passengers, and they had an emergency, an air emergency, um, and lost an engine on the airplane, and he managed to, with his crew, obviously, they managed to bring the plane down safely. And at the time, the king of Ethiopia was Haile Selassie, and his signet was the Lion of Judah. That was his symbol. And I don't know the status of the royal family in Ethiopia any longer. I used to know, but I don't know anymore. But at any rate, one of the things that came with the honor was a beautiful gold signet ring that was actually presented to my dad by the king. And so when he and my mom got married, it was a handsome ring. It's, it's the Lion of Judah symbol in gold, which is a lion holding a scepter. Need to be careful of my direction there. Make sure I'm not taking these in the wrong direction. And so when he and my mom got married, since they got married at the American Embassy, he had a replica of it, or a duplicate of it, made for my mother. And she wore that, even though they were no longer married. She wore it for the rest of her life because it was a beautiful thing. And I inherited it. I gave my dad's to one of my nephews, and I kept my mother's. And but I wanted to find out recently what the value on it might be, and so I started. That's part of the research that I did today. And this is not a rare item. I mean, they're still made to this day. So the bottom line is its sentimental value, to me, is far greater than its monetary value. And it's a part of my dad's history, which I think is so cool. My dad and my mother's history. But it was watching Curiosity Inc., which of course is he's the antique guy, and so he finds all of those things, and then figures out what they're worth. This is going to be very pretty, guys. This is going to be a very pretty drawing. Hopefully I'm staying on screen. Oops. Shoving stuff out of the way. I get all concentraty when I do this. Does anybody but me just sort of dread watching the news these days? Seems like there's always something going on. I was telling somebody today that, excuse me, that we have a great TV channel here that broadcasts Star Trek in all of its incarnations every night, 7 nights a week for 5 hours. It starts with, the original Star Trek, and then goes to Next Generation, and then Deep Space Nine, and then Star Trek Voyager, and finally ends up with Enterprise. So it's 5 hours of just Star Trek. And it's very cool. And I enjoy it so much that sometimes I forget that, there is also probably primetime TV. But I've kind of given up watching primetime TV. Because it's not, it just doesn't seem like it's, I guess maybe it's not fantasy enough for me. It's like being assaulted with real life. I don't want to be assaulted with real life in my entertainment. Oh, wow. Worked my way all the way around, haven't I? That's terrific. Okay. Make one go up there. Have it come back down there. Maybe we'll go another here. Elongate some around here. Pull some down here. Bring that one up there. Okay. So just like that, that part is done.